Subscriptions are used to export reports from Discover and present on a scheduled basis, and then we can distribute those to ourselves or to other users. To get started with a subscription in Discover, we save the discovery and then we can click subscribe to open the subscribe dialog. And we start by choosing an output type. I'll go with PDF. And then we can configure headers and footers. So we can set the header or footer height, the font, and what's interesting is that we can add dynamic elements as well. So I'll add the report name tag here to the left section of the header. And that way, if the report name is changed, the new report name will appear in the header without me having to go back and change it. In the center, I'll add the page number, and over on the right, I'll add the date. And we've got to enable that for it to be rendered in the output. And for the footer, I'll add the current username and enable that. And over in details, we can change the name of the subscription message that our users are going to receive. We can change the message itself, and we can set the schedule. So we can select any of these presets from the drop down here. And we can go to the advanced options if we want to set an advanced schedule. And under Send To, we can determine where we're going to distribute this. So we can send this to the bulletin board or to email. And over here again, we have an advanced option. So if we only use the basic distribution options, then only I'm going to receive this. Only the current user will receive the subscription output. So if I want to share this with other users, I need to open up the advanced options. So let's open the advanced scheduler, and we can schedule this on an hourly, daily, weekly, or monthly basis. I'm going to go with weekly, and we'll set this to every 4 weeks. And I want to run now so that we can take a look at the output. Add an end date and time. If we don't add this, then basically the schedule job will continue running until we stop it manually. If we go back to details, I want to open up the advanced options for distribution. So again, this is what we need to do if we want to share the output with other users. And we've got our options to share to the bulletin board or email. So from the bulletin board, we can distribute to a list of roles or users. I'll share with the admin role. And from email, we can distribute to a list of emails. You have to have at least one of these options selected. We can't, if we deselect bulletin board, we can't deselect email, and vice versa. So you have to have either bulletin board or email, or you can have both. So if we want to distribute to email, we can open up the editor here and just paste a list of email addresses and just make sure that each address is separated by a semicolon. We can send to mobile, so if we enable this option, we get a list of all of the users in the system. So I'll just send this to myself. And we can distribute to channel webhooks. So this is only available with the enterprise license, but if we have that, then we can configure channels in Pyramid, and then we can distribute subscriptions, alerts, and publications to our channels in Slack or Teams or somewhere else where we have our channel. So I'll select my Slack channel and just hit subscribe. And if I go to the bulletin board and go to my subscriptions, this is the list of all of the subscription outputs that I've received. And the top one here is the job that we just ran. I can download it, delete it, or go to its location. I'll download it, open it up, and here's the PDF output that I configured with the dynamic headers and footers as well. And if I pull up my email, I've received the subscription message here, and because I have the report bursting license, I've also received the report as an attachment. And if I go to Slack, here's my message about the subscription in Slack. If we want to configure a subscription for a presentation, we've got to launch the presentation in Runtime, and then we can access the subscribe dialog from the presentation menu. And the dialog works the same way. The difference is that when we select our output type, we can decide what part or what elements of the presentation we actually want to export. So we can take the current slide, the entire presentation, or we can select specific slides. So that's how we can export our reports from Discover and Present on a scheduled basis and share them either with other users or to our own bulletin board and email.